is Chevy Cubs Pregame Live.
A much better day for baseball here on the north side. The sun is out. The bleachers are getting full. Should be a nice crowd on hand. The Cubs and the Dodgers, game 2 of a 3-game weekend set. Good morning alongside former Cub Todd Hollinsworth. I'm David Kaplan. Welcome to our Chevy Cubs pregame live. Rough day yesterday, Holly. 12-2. The weather wasn't good. The pitching wasn't good. The hitting wasn't good. It added up to a blowout loss.
Well, they haven't really been playing that well in this homestand. You get the 2 wins against the Padres, but there's not a lot of offense. You get just enough pitching. Yesterday, it just kind of all went out the window. Bad pitching, 10 walks, no timely hitting. You get pounded by a really hot team in the Dodgers, 12-2. They got to find a way to bounce back. Ryan Dempster looks to be the stopper. He's their number 1 guy. Hopefully he gets some things done today.
All right, now Casey Coleman yesterday lasted 2 2/3, and really as we were watching the game back in our newsroom, it just didn't look like he had anything going. His stuff looked short, no bite on his slider, and the Dodgers made him pay.
Well, I think what you saw with Casey was what happens when you lose your best pitch, and his best pitch is so much better than his secondary pitches that he really started to struggle. His sinker, he could not throw it for strikes. He couldn't find the bottom of the zone. He couldn't find the bottom of the strike zone or even the top of the strike zone. So much so that he kind of aborted his plan and started leaning on his slider an awful lot more, and that's what did him in. He started hanging sliders out over the plate, sliders away. His pitches were up in the zone, and the Dodgers were ready for him. They were banging him around the yard.
And offensively, the Cubs struggled with Chad Billingsley. He had a little bit of a wildness problem. Put a couple guys on. He doesn't walk hitters, but part of that was because of the weather here. We had a rain delay. It was very cold. He said it was hard to get a grip, but he pitched extremely well.
Well, he pitched well, but at the same time, I feel like the Cubs are struggling a little bit with the bat, and I think that's what it kind of comes down to, is having some better at-bats against good pitching. I mean, that's what this is all about. You're going to run up against some good tests in the National League West right now. You know, you've got Colorado, you've got the Giants, you've got the Dodgers, even San Diego. You got 4 teams with some pitching. You know, what's that tell me? This is a good test for this ball club, and, well, right now, offensively, they got to do a little bit better job of responding. They're just not getting enough runs right now.
All right, much warmer here at the Confines today. The wind is blowing out. You look at the flags over here in the right field corner. Those flags are straight out towards the bleachers, so we'll see what happens today offensively. Do you expect better at-bats? The Cubs have stacked their lineup with guys that hit lefties, especially Jeff Baker in for Carlos Pena.
Well, the Cubs have responded. They are 4-1 against left-handed starters this year. They have a familiar friend, now foe, Ted Lilly, out there on the mound today. These guys know what he has, what he brings to the table, how he goes about his business, how he likes to pitch. They've got some of that inside information, but again, not a lot of them have a history against him. So it's going to be an interesting day. Ted has struggled when the wind is blowing out. His curveball, being one of his better pitches, cannot be left in the top of the zone or it will get banged around the yard. So hopefully today the Cubs respond. They put together some good at-bats, and, well, one of the keys we're going to talk about later is getting in that Dodger bullpen. That has meant, at least for me, one of their weaker links.
All right, time now for our Joe Stonecrab What's at Stake, and we've got a pair of best friends. I mean, these guys are really tight off-season, during the season when they were teammates. We're talking about Ted Lilly and Ryan Dempster locking horns today, Holly.
Well, it's going to be business as usual. Both of these guys are looking to get this season going in the right direction. They both have struggled a little bit early. Ted is coming off a good performance against Atlanta at home, but both of these guys are not really off to their usual starts. That being said, they're best friends. They love to compete against each other. They're going to get to compete against each other today. But when you're out there on the mound, it's business as usual. Both of these guys are looking to shut down the opposing team. I think it's going to be a lot of fun when maybe they face each other, when Ted Lilly gets in the box for the first time against Ryan Dempster to hit.
All right, speaking of Ryan Dempster, he has not had the type of start that he was hoping to. He threw the ball exceedingly well in spring training. What do you expect with him today as we look at the wind blowing out? Some Dodger hitters, lefties especially, that can take the ball to the ballpark.
Well, the truth with Ryan right now is that his stuff is there. I don't think people need to be alarmed. Is he losing his fastball? Is he losing his bite? I think it's there. I really believe that he's just struggled with the bottom half of the strike zone. With his splitting and his slider, it's imperative for him to command the knees, the strike zone, both inside and outside, being able to put the ball there. When he's up in the zone, he's trying to rush a guy typically late in the count. But he's made mistakes when hitters kind of know what's coming. 3-1, 2-1, they're looking for fastballs. He's gotten himself in trouble. Hitters have been ready for it. 4 out of the 5 home runs he's given up this year have been multiple guys on base. They have not been the solo shot. That's what Ryan usually does in times past. He's phenomenal at managing an inning, but lately this year he hasn't been. When he's gotten guys on, guys are actually hitting better against him. 348 with runners in scoring position against Ryan Dempster this year. So we talk about it. What does he have to do? He has to make big pitches in big spots to get guys out.
All right, let's hear from the Cubs starter today, Ryan Dempster, who talked to the media on Friday.
That's the best. Yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, some of your best competitors are your best friends, and you know, I've competed against him for as long as I've known him. So it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow, and he'll bring out the best in me, and hopefully I can do the same for him.
To be able to match up against Dempster, I think is, you know, pretty special experience. I couldn't have asked for it any better than to have a chance to compete against, you know, one of the good friends that I met in the game, and the, you know, greatest competitor that I played with, and I felt like, you know, what I learned from 3.5-year period playing with him is something that I'll have with me for the rest of my life.
So 2 guys who Dempster had his charity event this winter for his daughter. Lily is the first guy there. Lily is the guy spending money and buying stuff at the auction and coming in to support Ryan in anything he does, and the feeling is totally mutual. But that stuff's all forgotten when you get on the field. You played a long time, have good friends in the game. You don't pay attention to that, do you?
Well, I went against my brother-in-law for quite a long period of time. Matt Hergis said,
you tried to take him out.
Yeah, you better believe it. I mean, that was what you wanted to do. And we kind of came to this understanding that, you know what, as long as I had a little bit of success, but I wasn't doing damage against him, it was an okay place to be, and everybody won in that situation. So it was an awful lot of fun. But I really liked what Ted Lilly said in one of his quotes, my brother from another mother. And I just think that really tells you that, you know, you look at that bond that players develop with each other, their families coming together, when you spend time together. Truthfully, nobody really lives together for 16 years. You don't see guys in the organization, 5, 6, 7 guys sticking together for that long period of time. You hope that those bonds last and that they stick, and that you can still be friends over the course of time, because you're probably going to move on and go play for another city at some point. And it's so great to see when something like this happens and they're willing to talk about it, because I think a lot of that gets misunderstood in the game of baseball today. I know it's a business and people want to win, and you know, you have to lay it out there on the table, but you know, these guys sacrificed their life for this game.
All right, time now for our Binny's Beverage Depot From the Ballpark report. And Cubs manager Mike Quade talking about today's pitching matchup.
Every day is a big day, and every day, you know, you look forward to a guy getting locked in for days on end, for weeks on end. And, you know, like I said, with those guys, no time like the present. So I just always, and it's true, with these 3 guys, I always expect a good outing, and hopefully they'll back that up today.
You know, really, you know how competitive he is, so they can.
Yeah, I had a lot of people who have been watching the weather and stuff all of a sudden wanted to come see Demp and Lily, and you know, it says a lot about those 2 guys. It says a lot about Lil's time here. You know, they're best of friends, and they won't be today, which is also something I love about them. And I love Lil to death, but I hope he leaves here with a very unhappy face. So, but it's an interesting day for sure.
All right, now you take a look at the Cubs starters, and of course Cashner and Wells on the DL, but the top 3 have pitched better as of late. Matt Garza had a real good outing. Zambrano was outstanding the other night. Need it from Dempster tonight.
You definitely need it from Ryan. These guys are going to get right. You really believe that they're going to be just fine and that they're going to have successful seasons. And these Cubs need for them to. Talk about the number of quality starts. I mean, you've really set yourself up, you know, so that things can go well when things go as planned, so to speak. You have to get that quality start. You've got your 3 guys in the bullpen that you're kind of counting on, but there's been this formula for success here in Chicago the last couple years, and when the Cubs seem to struggle, they get away from it. And the stuff is there. It's undeniable. This is a ball club that's leading the major leagues in strikeouts. That tells you the stuff is there. 167 punch-outs so far this season. But you know what? They've made some mistakes with runners on base in those big spots. It hasn't just been Ryan Dempster. It's been Matt Garza at times, and even Carlos. You know, you talk about managing an inning and making a big pitch in a big spot. It seems like there's been a few more big hits than big pitches.
All right, we got to take our first time out. We come back, we're going to look ahead at the lineup for both clubs. Who are they trotting out today, and how do they fare at Wrigley Field? We've got our key performers, Todd's keys to the game. A whole lot to do. It's Chevy Cubs pregame live right here on home of the Cubbies, Comcast Sports Network.
How about hybrid mileage without the hybrid price? The 2011 Chevy Cruze Eco offers 42 miles per gallon on the highway for less than $18,000. With high gas prices, it's the perfect way to improve your garage.
Car Connection calls the XF a modern interpretation, yet an instant classic. With sports car styling and power, plus the refinement and space of a luxury sedan, the Jaguar XF is a timeless blend of performance and craftsmanship. See how Jaguar outperforms the competition at jaguarperforms.com or visit your local Jaguar dealer.
We've all been there, face-to-face with the list, the honey-do list. But with CLR, it's easy to cut the list down to size. Start in the bathroom with that shower head. Give it a quick dip in some CLR and see how strong it can really run. CLR is great for the washer and dishwasher, too. Same thing with the coffee maker. For its best-tasting brew, use CLR to clean your tools and make them shine. And CLR is safe for the environment. CLR has what you need to make fast work of any cleaning job around your house. CLR is available at these stores.
Yeah.
Hi, can I borrow some milk?
Yeah, just a second.
Just for Men. In 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray.
Anything else?
Pancakes?
Just for Men. Live forward.
Welcome to Giordano's famous stuffed pizza. It's not just pizza, it's much more. Spaghetti, lasagna, chicken parmesan, fettuccine alfredo, Italian beef, antipasto salad, appetizers, desserts, and so much more. Let Giordano's cater your office, your special occasion with great care and fresh ingredients.
Improving your garage? You can do it yourself. Chevy has 9 models that get over 30 miles per gallon. Like this 2011 Chevy Cruze you can lease for $159 a month. You'll have the best looking garage in Chicagoland. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers today.
Welcome back to Chevy Cubs pregame live with David Kaplan and Todd Hollinsworth.
The Cubs and the Dodgers, game 2 of a 3-game weekend set. Cubs pounded yesterday 12-2. They have not lost 3 in a row or won 3 in a row all season long. And I think they're the only team in baseball, one of 2, to have that distinction. So we'll see if they can avoid the 3-game losing streak today. Ryan Dempster against Ted Lilly. All right, let's take a look at the Cubs lineup. All righties going out for manager Mike Quade against the lefty, Ted Lilly.
Well, I mean, you've got a lot of success that these guys have against left-handed starting pitching. Chet Baker's off to a 474 clip, 9 for 19 against left-handers. These guys, they've been good against them. They're 4-1 against left-handed starters this year. Coming in, I mean, this is a lineup that I like. Bottom line is, if you get some production at the top, I mean, it's still the same thing. It's still the same game. So whether it's a lefty or righty out there, you've got to start getting some production from the guys in the middle of the lineup. I think it's a good move today to get Bacon there in the 5-hole. He's been hot against lefties. I think it's a good chance to score some runs.
All right, now Starlin Castro's in the 1-hole again. He's been hitting 2, then up to 1, over to 3, now back to 1. Is it at all a problem, especially for a 21-year-old, youngest player in Major League Baseball at this point in time, is it a problem at all to not have a consistent spot in the order?
I don't think at all. I really think it's an opportunity to find out who you are and who you're going to be for your career. I mean, that's how you talk about these things. I talk about Starlin, making great plays in the hole and maybe at times making ill-advised throws. those situations present themselves. You've got a chance to make plays and do things by stepping out of the box and finding out what you're going to be all about. I think for Starlin, it's a great chance to see how well he likes that 3-hole, how well he likes the 1 or the 2 spot in the lineup. He's produced in all 3 of those spots, so I don't think he comes to the field one day or the other worried more about one than he is about the other.
All right, Darwin Barney has really gotten off to a good start. When he came to camp, really was not a guy everyone thought would be the everyday second baseman, but his play has earned him that job on a basically everyday basis. I caught up with him before the game, and he talked about hitting in the 2-hole because it's easy. There's guys in front of you.
It's easy to hit when there's guys on base all the time. Fuki and Kazi have been getting on very frequently, and for a guy like me who, my job is to move runners and situational hit, it makes it a lot easier. So, my cap's off to them, and they're making my life easier, and we'll see if we can keep this thing going.
How about in terms of hitting in the cold weather? I mean, it's been brutally cold, rainy. How much tougher is it to hit here?
It pays a toll, but once that game starts, you kind of put it aside. I'd say the toughest part is when the wind's blowing in. It's kind of in your eyes when you're at the plate. Besides that, you get to the plate and you don't necessarily feel the cold. That's usually when you're out on defense, standing there for about 5 minutes, you get pretty cold. But they're battling the elements too. So it's a fair game, and you just want to come out on top.
Darwin Barney really playing very well. He brings some much-needed speed to the lineup. He's a solid glove guy. In fact, he's a plus glove guy, and he's hit the ball well.
Well, he talks about that 2-hole, and he makes a great point. When you've got something to do in that 2-hole, it makes your job a lot easier. What I mean by that is having runners on base. He understands the situation. He understands how many outs are. He has an idea of exactly what he wants to do. If he wants to go the other way, if he's going to try and maybe pull the ball with nobody on, nobody out, get on base. I mean, he's done a very good job of recognizing the situation in that 2-hole, and he's been willing to, do exactly what the team needs in that situation. Drop down and bunt. Maybe we'll see one of those today. Ted Lilly, not the best at fielding short ground balls, as we all know. But again, recognizing those situations and playing the game of baseball. That's what it's all about.
All right, let's take a look at Don Mattingly, the manager of the Dodgers. The lineup card he will turn in today. And 2 guys who have been really, really tough. Matt Kemp, 2 walk-off homers in the last 7 days, and Andre Ethier, a 19-game hitting streak.
Smoking hot. That's what these guys are right now. They have absolutely been pounding the ball. Andre Ethier, like you mentioned, 19-game hitting streak. Kemp has been a firecracker coming off a dismal year last year where I think a lot of things that surrounded him were being questioned, including some of the things that were going on off the field. But you know what? He looks re-energized, refocused, and he has been the linchpin to this offense so far this season. They've struggled for the most part up until about the last 5 or 6 games with Atlanta, but they're starting to get production now from Carroll, Blake. These guys are contributing. Some of these veterans, they're starting to look like a team that's going to score some runs this year.
All right, injured starters Andrew Cashner, Randy Wells, both have started throwing. I had a chance to talk to both of them, and both say they are on the road to recovery. We'll hear from them when we come back at Chevy Cubs Pregame Live. Cubs and Dodgers, Dempster and his pal Ted Lilly at high noon here on CSN.
How about hybrid mileage without the hybrid price? The 2011 Chevy Cruze Eco offers 42 miles per gallon on the highway for less than $18,000. With high gas prices, it's the perfect way to improve your garage.
Cubs Pregame Live is brought to you in part by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world.
There's a reason it's become a household name. Actually, there are 25. Only one vehicle has made Car and Driver's 10 Best list a record 25 times. Innovative engineering, year after year. Presenting the one, the 34-mile-per-gallon Accord. Look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer.
Right now, Feltco is offering free installation on all windows. Beat the high cost of energy with Feltco.
Call 866 for Feltco.
Yeah.
Hi, can I borrow some milk?
Yeah. Just a second.
Just for Men. In 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray.
Anything else?
Pancakes?
Just for Men. Live forward.
Hi, I'm Chris Suckamo from Play It Again Sports. Now that golf season is in full swing, it's time to take a look at your old clubs. Have you fallen out of love with your putter or driver? Trade in and trade up. Bring in your used club to trade in and up for better ones. Men's and women's full golf packages start at under $150. Trade in and up for Ping, TaylorMade, Titleist, and Callaway clubs and sets. Juniors, ladies, and lefties welcome. Play It Again Sports, always located in the First Avenue Mini Mall in Iowa City.
You land at the airport following a business trip. Your first thought is getting home. The Eastern Iowa Airport understands. Make it home in 20 minutes. Choose the Eastern Iowa Airport. Settle in your chair in minutes instead of hours. Smart Cedar Rapids, Iowa City travelers get home faster and save gas and money on airfares that are competitive with area airports. Why spend more time and money? Spend less. Check CID fares first. Get home in minutes. From the Eastern Iowa Airport, the fair choice.
Now it's time to look at the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color.
Carlos Zambrano takes them out in the series finale tomorrow afternoon here on Comcast Sports. Then Cubs host the Rockies then for 3 before they go out west to visit the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers.
Just as we look forward to the upcoming White Sox schedule, you can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color.
Also, the injured starters in the Cubs rotation, that would be Andrew Kashner and Randy Wells, both through yesterday and through today after seeing Dr. Stephen Grislow earlier in the week. They'll visit with the doctor again on Wednesday. But yesterday they had a chance to sit down and talk with the media about how they feel.
Good. Yeah, feels good. Everything's getting there. It's it's been a long process, but it's part of it. Never been hurt before, so just got to take my time. Try not to rush through things.
I was excited to come in today. I mean, get to throw the ball and get to be a part of the team again.
Feel like a pitcher?
Yeah.
What's the next step, Andrew?
I don't know. They just kind of day to day right now. Come in tomorrow, do the same thing probably, and probably a little more harder shoulder day inside tomorrow, and then go from there.
All right, so both guys inching their way back. I talked to both of them. They well said, dude, he goes, I've had enough of this injury stuff. I want to get back. And Kashner said, yeah, I feel a lot better. But he goes, I was definitely hurting when I was on the mound.
Well, we need him back. I mean, there's no denying that fact. But I have to admit, I side with Ozzie Guillen a little bit on this one. This is 25 guys pulling in a direction right now. I know that we're concerned about these guys, but until we get them back, they're certainly not helping what's going on the field. Maybe in the clubhouse they are a little bit, and they're trying to get themselves right and moving in the right direction, and we want to get them back. But I know I hear Ozzie say it, and it kind of just sticks in my ears. It's like everybody's out there doing battle right now, and these guys are just trying to get healthy. So it's a situation where, yeah, they need them back, and they need them back fast. So make sure that they get this thing wrapped up, and when they get back out there on the mound that they're 100%.
All right, before we get out of here, we will hear why Mike Quaddy was a little ticked off with the Dodgers yesterday. Plus, Holly's keys, and we make our picks for key performers. It's all straight ahead on Chevy Cubs Pregame Live. Stick around.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
How about hybrid mileage without the hybrid price? The 2011 Chevy Cruze Eco offers 42 miles per gallon on the highway for less than $18,000. With high gas prices, it's the perfect way to improve your garage.
Welcome to Giordano's famous stuffed pizza. It's not just pizza, it's much more. Spaghetti, lasagna, chicken parmesan, fettuccine alfredo, Italian beef, antipasto salad, appetizers, desserts, and so much more. Let Giordano's cater your office, your special occasion with great care and fresh ingredients.
Car Connection calls the XF a modern interpretation, yet an instant classic. With sports car styling and power, plus the refinement and space of a luxury sedan, the Jaguar XF is a timeless blend of performance and craftsmanship. See how Jaguar outperforms the competition at JaguarPerforms.com or visit your local Jaguar dealer.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Low prices, more choices. Discount Tire.
Yeah.
Hi, can I borrow some milk?
Yeah. Just a second.
Just for men. In 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray.
Anything else?
Pancakes?
Just for men. Live forward.
You're watching Comcast Sportsnet, now part of the NBC Sports Group.
Improving your garage? You can do it yourself. Chevy has 9 models that get over 30 miles per gallon. Like this 2011 Chevy Cruze you can lease for $159 a month. You'll have the best looking garage in Chicagoland. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers today.
Welcome back to Chevy Cubs Pregame Live with David Kemplin and Todd Hollinsworth.
All right, let's take you back to yesterday's game. Dodgers an 8-1 lead, and catcher A.J. Ellis is running, and Mike Quaddy not a happy camper about it because he felt baseball's unwritten rules say you don't run with that type of a lead. I've got to respectfully disagree with the manager, but I didn't play in the big leagues. You did. Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are just along the lines of yours. I look at that situation. I've seen 7-run leads disappear in less than 3 outs. I mean, those are those situations where, you find out what your team's all about, whether there's a missed sign, the whole running. I didn't turn the TV off and think the game was over in the 5th inning. I felt like the Cubs could come back and get into that. So what's that tell you? Well, I mean, the Dodgers aren't supposed to back off, trying to score runs. I mean, if they got a runner on third and the guy hits a sacrifice fly, I'm sure they're probably going to send him. So, again, I'm not speaking from understanding that entire book of unwritten rules, but I will say this. I'm an accelerator to the floor. You step on it, you hit it hard. You get that 7-run lead in the 8th and 9th innings, and maybe you do something a little bit different. You kind of call off the dogs. But in the 5th inning, boy, I've just seen too many leads. Double-digit leads disappear. I used to play in Colorado, and it happened all the time. And if you call off the dogs there, you're kicking yourself. That's the other team that's going to be more aggressive.
And it's Wrigley Field, and we've seen those leads happen. To me, you get someone down 20-0, step on the accelerator, because if they get you down, they can do the same thing back to you.
Well, and that's exactly right, Cap, and that's what you want. I don't want my guys thinking that, that you're ever going to back off and not play the game hard or play the game the right way. I mean, that's what I teach my sons at home. So I'm sitting here today thinking, why are we backing off now? I know that there's the book of unwritten rules, and you don't want to see guys suffer when they're struggling. But, there it is.
All right, let's hear Holly's keys to the game so the Cubs can get a victory today and turn this thing back around after dropping a couple in a row. Todd?
All right, here we go. Big pitches in big spots. That's what's been missing from Ryan Dempster's arsenal this season. Demp in the past, he's been one of the best at managing an inning. But so far this year, hitters again are hitting .348 against him. The Dodgers' offense is hot. They've been scoring a bunch of runs, so you're going to have to look for Demp to pound the lower half of the zone and stay down there. He's got to get comfortable and consistent down there. It's his bread and butter. He's got to stay down in the zone, throw the high fastball, but really I think for Demp it's going to be making a big pitch in a big spot. There's probably going to be a few runners on, as there oftentimes has been early on in this season. Get in that bullpen. The backbone of the Dodgers pitching staff has been their starters. 6 quality starts in a row, but their bullpen, for the most part, has looked very, very hittable. Jonathan Broxton, 5 for 5 in save opportunities, but he's got a bloated ERA, 5.19. He's given up 10 hits in 8 innings. These guys today, if you get in that bullpen, you make Ted Lilly work, get his pitch count up, and attack him. And I talk about those bunts. I'm telling you right now, you drop a couple bunts down on Ted Lilly, and you might see some balls flying around this yard a little bit. Ted Lilly does not like to field his position. And finally, formula for success. Quality start for Ryan Dempster. You set it up. You paved the way for Marshall, Wood, Marmol. Get back to the flow. Get back to doing the things that make you successful. Throw in a little bit of timely hitting, and I think the Cubs can find themselves getting a win today.
All right, before every game, we pick our key performers, the guy we think will have the biggest impact on today's game from a Cubs perspective, since he's leading 3-1 over me in our Comcast broadcast, a lot of draws too. I am going to go with a guy hitting over 400, Jeff Baker, to have a big day today.
I'm going with Marlon Byrd. He's 3 for his last 33. He's been struggling. Today he breaks out.
Wow, he changed it up on us. I thought you were going in a totally different direction. All right, now don't forget, this game can be seen in its entirety on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. It is on the main channel until we take over with Bulls basketball at 1 o'clock. But again, the Plus channel will have the whole game. We'll be back after this game with our Cubs post-game show. So thank you so much for watching. Len and Bob are next. The Cubs and the Dodgers from the confines on the north side. We'll see you.
409-1251. So don't delay. Call 1-800-409-1251 and order now.
It's a beautiful day here on the north side. We haven't said that a whole lot. The wind is blowing out, the sun is shining, and we are set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. The Cubs try to get back to 500 for the 10th time this season as they host the LA Dodgers. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. 12-2 Dodgers, the final yesterday. The Cubs come in 1 game under. Great pitching matchup. Ryan Dempster against his good friend Ted Lilly. And with the lefty on the mound for the other team, Mike Quaddy's loading up with righties.
Well, you definitely know Jeff Baker's going to be in the lineup against a left-handed pitcher because he has killed lefties throughout his career and continues to do so this season. 9 for 19 in the early going. Good numbers against Ted Lilly as well. And for Reed Johnson, we talk a lot about Castro and Barney and the energy they give to the team. Well, Reed Johnson fits that bill just as well, even though he's a veteran.
Ted Lilly won 47 games between 2007 and 2010 with the Cubs. He's now with his original organization, the Dodgers, and it might be a little strange for him pitching with another team.
I'm sure it will be a little strange for Theodore. He had a great run here in Chicago, one of the most competitive guys we've seen in a Cubs uniform, and I'm sure he'll be exactly the same wearing Dodger blue instead of Cubby blue.
And those pitches you just saw were thrown on Monday. His best outing of the season as he got his first win against the Atlanta Braves. Probably his best friend in the world is Ryan Dempster, but not once the first pitch is thrown.
No question about it. Two very competitive guys, two very good friends, but Ryan Dempster looking to improve on those numbers here at Wrigley Field.
And he's also looking for his first quality start of 2011. So coming up from Wrigley, it'll be Ryan Dempster trying to get the Cubs back to 500 after they've dropped 2 in a row, and lefty Ted Lilly makes his return to Wrigley Field.
Get unbelievable savings during the Crazy Days sale at Menards. For 3 days only, get unbelievable deals. Prices so low, they're crazy. Stock your pantry with cereal. Choose from 4 different flavors, only 4 for $5. Or get a Master Force 15-piece titanium drill bit set, only $4.99 after rebate. But hurry, the sale ends Sunday. Good while supplies last. And you don't want to miss these prices.
Save big money at Menards.
Sometimes it's laundry, sometimes a juicy crossword puzzle. You need a plan when you know you'll be waiting on hold for customer service. Well, this time, it was a triple layer red velvet cake.
Thank you for calling MediaCom. This is Liz. How may I help you?
I didn't expect you to answer so quickly. Could you hold on just a sec?
Sure, I'd be happy to hold for you.
Wow. I could get used to this. And Murphy could get used to cream cheese frosting.
Shop Menards during the spring sale for unbelievable savings. Finish all kinds of projects with concrete mix. It's ideal for sidewalks, driveways, anchoring posts, and more. It's ready to use, just add water. Only $2.19 per 60-pound bag. Enclose your yard and more with Easy Roll chain link fence. They feature a 10-year no-rust warranty. A 42-inch roll is $36.99. A 48-inch roll is $39.99. Larger sizes are also on sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years of being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Subway. Every day at Subway, choose from many delicious regular footlong subs for just $5. Subway, eat fresh. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today or go to shophonda.com and find great values on a new Honda. AT&T Uverse. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates.
Beautiful day here at Wrigley Field. And a nice crowd on hand to see the Cubs host the LA Dodgers. Now, Don Mattingly's Dodger Southwest starting lineup, former Cub Aaron Miles in the leadoff spot. He's playing second. Casey Blake at third. Andre Ethier working on a long hitting streak. Matt Kemp in center. Jerry Sands plays left. It's Loney at first. Rod Barajas, the veteran, back of the plate. Jamie Carroll hitting eighth today. And former Cub Ted Lilly batting ninth.
Let's take a look at the Cubs defensively today. Soriano, Bird, and Reed Johnson across the outfield, left to right. It'll be Ramirez, Castro, Barney, and Baker across the infield, third to first. Geovany Soto doing the catching today for our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher, Ryan Dempster, making his fifth start of the year. It's been an uncharacteristic start to a season for Ryan Dempster in the fact that he just cannot seem to keep the ball down in the zone. That sinker, slider, splitter combination, much more effective when he's down around the knees.
Here's Aaron Miles, a switch hitter, taking a strike. A reminder, Comcast Sportsnet celebrates Earth Week. Green is universal. Well, there's a huge incentive for Ryan Dempster to keep the ball down today because the wind is gusting straight out the center field. Very different conditions than what we saw yesterday.
Well, this is one of those games on the surface, Len, with Ryan Dempster, who has historically been a sinker ball, ground ball pitcher, would appear to have a slight edge over Ted Lilly, who is a fly ball pitcher. With that wind blowing straight out today, hopefully the Cubs will get some up into that wind.
Wind in the 1-2, a fly ball hit out toward Reed Johnson, and he makes the easy play for the first out. Check in on the umpires. 13-year veteran Jeff Nelson will get the plate from Minnesota. Marty Foster, Bill Welke, and the crew chief Tim Cheetah around the bases. We'll see if Jeff Nelson gives the pitchers that bottom part of the strike zone that Tim Cheetah did not give the pitchers yesterday. Casey Blake lays down a bunt, and Dempster will just pick it up after he could not make the catch. Blake will have himself a bunt base hit.
Now, once Dempster committed to trying to catch this bunt in the air and can't get there, that's going to be an easy base hit for Casey Blake. Now, hindsight's always 20/20, but Blake does not run particularly well. If Ryan lets that ball drop in front, picks it up, they probably get an easy out at first base.
Now it's Andre Ethier with a 19-game hitting streak. It's a new career high, and it's the longest in the majors this season. 1 for 2 with 2 walks, an RBI, and a run in the opener. And he fouls it off. Let's bottle up this weather. Just beautiful. Temperatures in the low 60s. Southwest wind at 12.
It took the Cubs about 3 hours to get here to Chicago from spring training. It took the Sun about 3 weeks to make it north. Players had to dust off the sunglasses today. Haven't had to use them in the early going this season here at home because of the overcast and cold, cloudy, rainy weather we've had. But beautiful day here at Wrigley today.
Ethier has hit .456 against righties this season. That leads the majors. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rather, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, a tough go for Dempster here at Wrigley. He has lost 5 consecutive decisions in this ballpark going back to last year. That's low. Dempster looking for what would be the Cubs' 168th strikeout in the early going. They lead the majors in punch-outs, just ahead of the Cincinnati Reds.
I know that surprises a lot of people around the National League. The Reds certainly have a pitching staff comprised of strikeout pitchers, but I don't think anybody expected the Cubs pitching staff to be punching guys out the way they have in the early going. Of course, Matt Garza's numbers will quickly inflate your strikeout totals.
And this really has long been an excellent strikeout staff. Going back to the first couple of years of the last decade. Going to check on Blake. Pretty good chance he'll be running. The Dodgers were pretty aggressive yesterday. 3-2 count, 1 out. Try to stay out of the double play. Blake takes off, and that's ball 4.
Dempster looking for that ground ball, possible double play with Blake on the move. Tried to nibble at that outside corner. Unfortunately missed just off the plate. And Geovany Soto doesn't have the luxury of waiting for a call from the home plate umpire, Jeff Nelson. Usually the umpire will try to give you a quick call on those 3-2 pitches when you know the runner is going to be going. But unfortunately, you can't wait to hear that call. If you think that pitch is close enough to the strike zone, you have to go ahead and throw to second base just in case.
Matt Kemp comes in at 403. Tied for first in the majors in batting average. And he taps it foul. And first base coach Davey Lopes. There's the former Cub. Dodgers with their best output of the season offensively yesterday. 12 runs on 14 hits. 0-2. Half their runs came in a 6-run third.
A little bit of a hanging slider that time from Ryan Dempster. About 85 miles an hour right in the middle of the plate, but enough off speed that Kemp was way out in front.
0-2 on the way. A liner that's dropped, and they're going to turn 2. It would have been 2. And what's the call? It looks like they're saying he dropped it on purpose, so they're only going to give him 1 out. The thing is, Starlin should have just caught it, and he would have had a double play anyway at second base. Instead, he went for the 6-4-3. And Bill Welke's saying you can't drop it on purpose. The question is, was it on purpose?
Only Starlin knows for sure. Yeah, he's got the runner way off second base right there. All he had to do was catch the ball and shovel on to Barney. Well, that would be 2 easy ones.
Yeah, I think he just overthought it.
Yep.
Yeah, you catch that liner, and Blake is dead at second base.
Yeah, Blake got fooled. It looked like Kemp hit that ball off the end of the bat. Looked like a line drive headed toward left center field, but got out to Starlin Castro and really started sinking. Yeah, I think you called it exactly right. Just overthought that play a little bit too much.
So 2 outs in the inning. And it is the left fielder, Jerry Sands. Now, my assumption, Bob, would be on that call, it's a dead ball once the out is called, because even though in the estimation of the second base umpire, Bill Welke, he caught it, he still would have had Blake doubled off. But I think they just call it a dead ball, 1 out on the play, and that's it. See something new every day, don't you? 0-2 to Sands. And a ground ball to Darwin Barney. This will end it. So they strand a couple. The Cubs are coming up against Ted Lilly.
There's a reason it's become a household name. Actually, there are 25. Only one vehicle has made Car and Driver's 10 Best list a record 25 times. Innovative engineering, year after year. Presenting the One, the 34-mile-per-gallon Accord. Look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer.
Join us at the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation's Best of Illinois with the Chicago Cubs, May 19th at Wrigley Field. Guests will enjoy exclusive access and a tribute to Ron Santo. For tickets or to make a donation, visit jdrfillinois.org.
Hey, would you mind if I asked Sheila out?
Of course not. We broke up 6 months ago. I don't think she'd go for a guy like...
She said she'd love to. She can't wait to see me. She's wanted me to ask her out for over a year now. She just sent me a video.
Hi, Steve. Oh, can I see that?
Yeah.
Can't wait for a date.
In the network, sparks fly faster. AT&T is getting faster with 4G. Rethink possible.
For a limited time, the more you floor, the more you save. Save up to 70% when you buy additional rooms of carpet, hardwood, or laminate. Call now for Luna's lowest prices ever. There's more to love for less.
773-202 Luna.
Now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Written out by Mike Quaddy, pretty right-handed heavy. Castro, Barney, Bird. Starlin hit third in back-to-back games. He's now in the leadoff spot again. Ramirez, Baker at first for Carlos Pena, who struggled against lefties. Soto catches. Soriano in left. Reed Johnson, the former Dodger, in right. And Ryan Dempster, the pitcher.
Take a look at the Dodgers defense today. Same outfield as yesterday. Jerry Sands in left, Matt Kemp in center, Andre Ethier over in right field. It'll be Casey Blake and Jamie Carroll once again on the left side of the infield. Aaron Miles, the former Cub, getting the nod at second base today. James Loney over at first. Veteran Rod Barajas doing the catching today for one of our favorites after game time today, Ted Lilly. See his numbers so far on the season. 3 very pedestrian starts to begin the season, but a real good one last time out against Atlanta when he went 7 innings of 4-hit shutout baseball.
Ted's 35. Born in Torrance, California, and originally was with the Dodger organization. He never did pitch in the big leagues before being dealt to Montreal. Back in July of '98, made his major league debut in '99 with the Expos. And here's his 1-0 pitch. Now 2-0 on Castro.
We know Ted Lilly throws a couple of different fastballs, a tailing, sinking fastball, one that appears to cut in on righties. He says it's just a straight four-seamer. The big curve, the backdoor slider, straight changeup, and he'll change speeds on all of his pitches. Cub fans will remember, especially last season, there were a number of starts early in the year where the first pitch of the ball game would be a fastball at 78 miles an hour. Now, he can reach the low 90s with his fastball, but he will vary the speed depending on the situation and try to take advantage of the hitter's aggressiveness.
2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. A reminder, we will be leaving this Cubs game at 1 o'clock for Bulls playoff coverage of Game 4 from Indianapolis. Please switch to Comcast Sportsnet Plus to see the Cubs game in its entirety at CLTV in Chicago, or go to csnchicago.com for the channel number.
Tries to throw that four-seamer inside off the plate to Starlin Castro. In the past, that's generally set up something off speed away.
Drilled to deep left for Castro, and it's off the wall right below the basket. He better hurry. He's going to be out. Jerry Sands got a perfect carom off the ivy-less wall. And he fired a strike to Aaron Miles.
Can't play it much better than that in left field here at Wrigley. A rocket line drive off the bat of Castro. It's just below the basket. Sands right there to field it on a hop, barehanded. Strong throw back to Aaron Miles, and nowhere for Castro to go. Tries to hook around the tag right there. Good way to break an ankle. Fortunately, he's okay. However, he is out.
Just missed a home run, and as it is, it's a single, and he's thrown out 7-4 as Darwin Barney fouls back. I mentioned Lilly made his big league debut with Montreal, but he had never faced the Cubs before today. Drops low. 1 ball, 1 strike. A bunch of guys in this lineup have faced Ted Lilly, including the guy on deck, Marlon Byrd, who's 5 for 11 against him in his career. Another ball hit pretty well. This one's going to be over the head of Matt Kemp. And Barney will have a double. That ball really took off on Matt Kemp.
Was struck well by Darwin Barney. A lot of backspin. In addition to that wind blowing straight out to center field, Matt Kemp took a very shallow line. That ball just shot right over his head. A couple of really hard hit balls to start this game.
Bird, a career .384 hitter against the Dodgers. And he hits a foul pop that'll get out of play. Follow all of today's stats and info in real time with Cubs in-game live only at CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by Honda. Bird with a triple in 4 trips to the plate in game 1. 0-1 pitch upstairs.
And just as a point of rule for those of you out there, the Starlin Castro play when he intentionally dropped the line drive is covered under Rule 6.05L in the rule book. If an infielder intentionally drops a fair fly ball or line drive with first and second, first and third, or bases loaded before 2 outs, the ball's dead. The runner shall return to their bases.
That was the right call by Bill Welke at second base. I have to think Castro just did not see where Blake was. Like he had time to see where he was. But he was off to his right, not his left, and that would have been an easy double play if he had caught the liner. Kick in the 1-2. Shallow right. Miles isn't going to get it, and neither will Andre Ethier. Barney holding up at third, so a blue base hit for Bird. Cubs have 3 consecutive hits to start this first inning. They're at the corners with 1 out.
It's a little jam shot fly ball into shallow right field. Tough play for Aaron Miles. He was jockeying Darwin Barney back close to the bag at second. You see Barney trying to get as big a jump as possible off second, but he had to wait and see the ball down on the ground, or at least in his judgment think the ball was going to be down on the ground, and not enough time to round third and score.
Now Ramirez facing his former teammate for the first time. Blake guards the line at third. Double play depth up the middle and a pop up into center. Barney ready to tag as Kemp gets behind the ball. His throw will go to Loney, who cuts it off, and it's a sac fly for Ramirez. This is a kind of day where if you just hit it like that, the wind should carry it deep enough. I think on a day earlier this week, Bob, that would not have been deep enough.
That probably would have been an infield fly earlier this week, the way the wind was blowing. Lilly with a lot of pitches up above the belt here in the first inning, and Ramirez lofts a high fly ball to Matt Kemp, who has one of the stronger throwing arms of any center fielder in the National League. But because of that wind, he wasn't able to get any momentum on his throw. Marlon Byrd with a good read, saw the high throw, and advances into scoring position himself.
So the Cubs get on the board first, 1-0, and it brings up Jeff Baker. 3 for 6 with a home run against Lilly. Ball 1. Second start of the year at first for Baker. He's in there for Carlos Pena. Pena just 1 for 13 against lefties to start the season. Starting to feel like summer, or at least spring.
Very similar to what we saw from Jeff Baker last season. I'll tell you what, Len, Ted Lilly, we showed you some highlights of his start against Atlanta when he was very good, but a lot of the pitches he threw in that game were up high in the zone. Seems to be repeating that pattern here so far today.
That curveball was up, but Baker hit it off the end of the bat. And it's Ethier to make the catch. Cubs with 3 hits, they score 1 run and lead 1-0 after 1. Kaplan and Todd Hollinsworth will break down the game and preview the Cubs' next matchup. Don't miss Coors Light Cubs postgame live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Well, Ted Lilly met the media yesterday and had nothing but wonderful things to say about his experience here in Chicago, as the fondest memories, my life living here in this city. Midwestern way of life. Had a lot of fun from a baseball perspective. And talked about getting a little emotional and discussing his fondness for Ryan Dempster. Ted flew in from California in December to attend the funeral of Ron Santo. And I know Ronnie would have loved knowing that Ted made the trip to pay his respects. They were very close. A very vivid picture in my mind of Ted on a Saturday like this, sitting in the clubhouse at one of the long tables in the middle of the clubhouse, maybe eating some cereal or an egg sandwich, and Ron sitting right across for him, having a cup of soup and just talking baseball.
I think the highest compliment you can pay the two of them is they would have been happy to be the other's teammate.
No question.
And on a personal level, Len, down in the Cubs clubhouse, there's the back room where the laundry, washers and dryers and all the extra equipment is stored. And Ryan Dempster and Ted Lilly used to sit in that back room and play gin rummy for hours. And I don't think either one of them ever really had their mind totally on the card game. They were always talking about opposing hitters or opposing managers. Why does he do this? Why does he do that? And it was all under the guise of playing gin rummy in the back room, but I think they really learned a lot about the game from each other in that scenario.
Splitter is low and away to James Loney, and a full count, 3-2, with the catcher Barajas on deck. I have a feeling Rod Barajas might be swinging for the fences already with 3 home runs on the year, and the wind blowing out.
That's pretty much what Rod Barajas does all the time. He is going to get a lot of the playing time here for the Dodgers this year, but throughout his career he's been one of those backup catchers that catches and throws extremely well, calls a good game for his starting pitchers, and when he's up at the plate he's got one thought on his mind: get the ball in the air.
Backhanded by Castro.
Pretty routine play for Starlin Castro. However, those are the ones he's had some issues throwing the ball across the diamond. No problems that time. Right on the chest to Jeff Baker for the first out.
In 42 games with the Dodgers going back to last year, Barajas has hit 8 home runs. He re-signed with LA after originally being acquired on a waiver claim from the Mets in late August. Grew up under 20 miles from Dodger Stadium, emulating Fernando Valenzuela. His whole family are full of Dodger fans, so this is a dream come true for him.
Well, as a manager with the Diamondbacks, I never was even a little bit concerned about our catching situation. We had Damian Miller as our starting catcher, who was as good as they come, handling a pitching staff and calling a game, and provided his share of offense, and backing him up most of the time was Rod Barajas, and we lost absolutely nothing defensively, and maybe even gained a little bit of power when Barajas was in the lineup.
Swing and a miss. Dempster's first strikeout.
Hey fans, watch the Cubs take on the Rockies this Monday at 7:05 right here at Wrigley Field. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 adults 21 and older will receive a Cubs washed cap, compliments of Bud Light. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. That is definitely a 9,999 item, because I will get one of those wash caps.
Oh, I know you will. On strike to Jamie Carroll, who hit in the leadoff spot yesterday and reached base 3 times, twice on hits. And he's batting 8th today. Caught the outside corner. 0-2. Ted Lilly on deck.
Now, the Lilly and Dempster at bats today, worth taking note of. I don't know this for a fact, but I would bet there's at least a dinner bet on who has the best offensive day. Could be a lot more costly than that to the loser, but let's see how they approach each other in this game today.
Jamie Carroll, very pesky batter, and on the 0-2 pitch he singles to right, and that'll get Lilly up to the plate.
I think pesky's a real good word for Jamie Carroll. That's the kind of player he is. That's the kind of hitter he is. You get to 2 strikes, you feel like you have him in a hole, and he slaps the pitch to the opposite field, finds a way to get on base.
Nice hand for Ted, who likes to jog around the warning track before his start, and he got a standing ovation from all the fans in the bleachers.
I'll tell you, for some of the Chicago Cub fans, Ted Lilly will forever go down in history for running over Yadier Molina at home plate down in St. Louis. I don't know if I've ever seen a pitcher go after a catcher the way Ted Lilly did that day. Nothing malicious about it, nothing dirty about it, just clean, hard baseball, and he bowled over the Cardinals catcher, and I think forever earned a place in Cub fans' hearts.
1-1 on Lilly. By the way, with the long outing for Jeff Stevens, almost 90 pitches, 3 1/3 in relief yesterday, the Cubs did make a roster move. They have brought up right-hander Justin Berg and sent Jeff Stevens to Iowa, where he'll get a few days off. You could see this one coming. Stevens was not going to be available for a few days. And good to see Justin Berg back in the majors. Tough way, though, for Mike Quaddy said it's never easy to send a guy out, but Jeff Stevens did everything the Cubs asked him to do yesterday by taking on as many pitches as he could. Lilly able to hold up, and it's 2-2. And it's not completely set in stone, but it looks like James Russell is going to get his 3rd start in that number 5 spot on Tuesday against the Rockies. There's Justin Berg. And a floater out into shallow center, but it's going to be caught by Castro, and that will end the inning. To the bottom of the 2nd, 1-zip Cubs. Action at Wrigley. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Don't miss the Cubs hosting the Dodgers tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Hiroki Kuroda against Carlos Zambrano, and there are still tickets available. We hope you can make it out to the ballpark. If not, catch it right here on CSN. Great crowd today for Cubs baseball on the north side. Soto, Soriano, and Johnson. Now Gio should know Ted better than anybody, even Ryan Dempster, since he sat behind the plate for so many of Lilly's starts, and looked like a changeup outside, ball 1. And it's the classic Gio thinking, okay, 2-0 count. What would I ask for Ted to throw? And Ted thinking, what would Gio have asked for me to throw? And
what's he thinking that I'm thinking that he's thinking that I'm thinking? Just see it and hit it. I think Ted likes those kind of matchups where he has a hitter at the plate that maybe is a little familiar with him, either in the case of Geovany Soto, a guy who caught him, or against hitters that have had a number of at-bats against him. I think he can use that against the opposing hitters.
3-1 with Soriano on deck. Wind has shifted just slightly toward right, but still blowing out. Outside corner, 3-2. Well, those flags right now, Bob, hanging on for dear life on the pole out at center.
That ball never did get to the outside corner.
Just low, ball 4. It's a leadoff walk. Watch Comcast Sportsnet game replays on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. The only negative about today, it might be a bit of a bad hair day if you get stuck in that wind. But you know what?
I was just thinking that shot we had of that young lady with flowers in her hair. A couple things we haven't seen much of this spring. Flowers in hair, because everybody's been wearing toboggan caps and hoodies.
Short lead by Soto. Big leg kick by Lilly. The fastball is off the inside corner. Dodgers have had excellent starting pitching here the last week or so, and they're winning games as a result. They've won 5 of their last 6, and over the 6 games the starters have had a 1.39 ERA, just 7 earned runs going into today over their last 6. Paul Sullivan, I think he's off today.
Check his ticket.
Dave Van Dyke covering the Cubs for the Chicago Tribune. Well, a reminder, we will be leaving this Cubs game at 1 for Bulls playoff coverage. You can switch to CSN Plus to see the Cubs game in its entirety, CLTV in Chicago, or go to csnchicago.com for the channel number. Called strike 3, got him on a fastball inside corner for Lilly's first strikeout and the first out of this inning.
Not so sure about that. We'll get a look on pitch tracks. That's that 4-seamer inside. Pitch track says it's off the plate inside. What we can garner from this inning is that Jeff Nelson calls a wide plate. We've seen him go off the outside corner a couple of inches, off the inside corner a couple of inches.
Reed Johnson with a game-winning home run earlier this week against the Padres and getting the start in right. Both he and Jeff Baker have been very good against lefties in their career. Johnson was a Dodger last year, and he sprays this one foul into the upper deck. In some ways, Bob, it worked out well that Ted Lilly was pitching today because of how hot Johnson was in that San Diego series, and I know Mike Quaddy didn't want to wait too long to get him back into the lineup.
It's tough sometimes early in the season for bench players, especially when the guys who play your position are either swinging the bat well or getting on base a lot, doing something to help the team win games. It's kind of tough to shoehorn your way into that lineup, but walk-off home runs in extra innings are a pretty good way to get yourself into the lineup. You know, we talked about this off the air, Len. Mike Waddy choosing to go with an all right-handed hitting lineup against Ted Lilly, and a lot of managers have done that against Teddy in the past, but I really think you need to drop a lefty or two in that lineup somewhere. Lefties are actually hitting pretty good against Ted this year, a .310 average. Right-handers hitting considerably lower at .254. I just think if you load up a lineup with right-handers, it allows Ted to get locked in on that outside corner, both with his tailing fastball and that backdoor slider that he likes to throw. His changeup becomes a much more effective pitch against right-handed hitters. And if you sprinkle in a lefty or two in that lineup, it forces him to change his target, change where he picks the catcher up, maybe throw a few more breaking balls.
Two on Reed Johnson. He and Ted Lilly have been teammates with 3 different teams: the Blue Jays, the Cubs, and the Dodgers. 2-2. In on his hands, and he fights it off foul. I would be curious to know what the major league record is for 2 players playing together on different teams. That's a lot. Be teammates with the same guy with 3 different clubs. Ground ball picked up by Loney. They get 1, they get 2. 3-6-3. A nifty turn, and that ends the inning. 1-0 Cubs after 2.
Is going to nail that frequent flyer with restrictions when he tries to use his miles.
That's a lot of red tape. Step on it. I can't escape the red tape. Now you can with Rapid Rewards. Come on.
Join Rapid Rewards and enjoy unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates, and no red tape.
You shouldn't be here.
Oh, I'm not here. I'm just a figment of your imagination. But you are thinking about grabbing a Rocky Mountain cold Coors Light at happy hour. Maybe you can even buy me one.
You're gorgeous. What's your name?
Jim. And thanks.
Keep it up, Timbo.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
I vow to be ready to go whenever you are. I vow to work even after the sun goes down, and to take a tank of gas as far as she'll go. I vow to be the most fuel-efficient Sierra ever. And now use your $14.95 PowerTech discount to get a total value of $6,000 on the 2011 Sierra PowerTech. It's the best Sierra ever.
Due to the length of this game, we now move ahead in the action.
Time for our Home Depot doing more on defense. James Loney, a very underrated defender at first base, made only 4 errors in 161 games last year. Starts the nifty 3-6-3 double play to bail Ted Lilly out of the inning.
Zah.
And most people would grab it by the crust. Kids don't care.
No.
Just paw that thing and go to eat.
First time through, Ryan Dempster hit the strike zone on the first pitch to every batter. Second time through now, starting with Aaron Miles. That's his first miss on the first pitch. Get out of play on the left field line. Arizona and the Mets trying to get underway, but they may have some of the rain that we had. So the start has been delayed in New York. No delays in Toronto. At Rogers Center, 2-1 Tampa Bay. They're in the third inning there. We'll take Baker right to the bag. Hey fans, don't miss your chance to get the Best Buy pack at Wrigley Field. Drinks, 4 hot dogs starting at just $40. For more details and to purchase your Best Buy pack, visit Cubs.com/bestbuypack. A lot of big games coming up here at Wrigley Field. Rockies come in Monday through Wednesday, and then the next homestand will feature the Reds, the Cardinals, and the Giants, defending champions. And again, there are still seats available for tomorrow's Game 3 of this series. 2-0 on Casey Blake, who bunted his way on in the first inning. Big rip at that pitch, and he hit it foul.
We've got a good pitch to hit right there. Fastball, middle of the plate in, a little bit up. Blake, however, just a little tardy.
That's high on a slider. It's 3-1. Another slider. That for a strike. 3-2. And ball 4.
I don't know. Pitch is below the belt on the inside corner. That's a strike. I don't know what has happened to the strike zone recently, but and people wonder why I get so upset about a missed call. I mean, one at bat can swing, and one pitch can swing an at bat. One at bat can swing an inning. One inning can swing a game, and one game could cost you a pennant. Man.
Ethier walked his first time, and it's a bouncer to Barney. They get the out at first. Blake now in scoring position, 2 outs. That'll bring up Kemp. 0 for 1. He lined out to Castro. Cubs thought they had a double play, but because Castro dropped the ball on purpose, only 1 out was given on the play. Dempster would then get Sands to ground out to end that inning. Slider for a strike. Indians and Twins are in the third. No score from Target Field. Carmona and Dunsing on the mound in that one.
Purpose pitch from Ryan Dempster after jumping ahead on that first pitch slider. Fastball up and in, pushing Kemp off the plate. I don't think he should see another pitch that he can get a bat on the rest of this at bat. No doubt about it. He's the hottest hitter in this Dodgers lineup. The guy that can really do damage with one swing of the bat. You've got first base open. And young Jerry Sands in the on-deck circle.
And a squiver that gets in the right, and the Dodgers tie it. And a struggling Jerry Sands, who will come up now in a tie game as Matt Kemp picks up RBI number 16 on the year, and it's 1-1.
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. The walk to Blake ends up costing the Cubs. Tried to run a sinker in on his hands, and Matt Kemp is so strong he just muscled it through that right side of the infield to tie up the ball game. I think that was a case where Mike Quaddy was probably deferring to Ryan Dempster's experience on the mound, trusting that he wouldn't throw anything that Matt Kemp could do damage with. Unfortunately, he was able to do damage anyway.
Kemp not only picks up hits, knocks in runs, but he steals bases. He has 8 already.
I'm going to say that. Unlike most number 4 hitters in Major League Baseball, Matt Kemp is a threat once he gets on base.
Pretty quick journey through the Dodger minor league system for Jerry Sands. He was their minor league player of the year last year, finished 3rd in all of the minor leagues with 35 home runs. He started the year in the Midwest League at Great Lakes, low A. So a year ago, about this time, Bob, he was playing games in Midland and Lansing and Grand Rapids and Peoria, Appleton. And now he's an L.A. Dodger playing at Wrigley Field in front of a packed house. They pitch out, and Kemp was not running. Having said that, there are a lot of really nice ballparks in the Midwest League.
Absolutely.
Two and one.
Of course, I'm a little partial to the ballpark down in Peoria. Rocky Vanaken runs a real good show down there. You might even see Pete hanging around the ballpark from time to time if you go out to catch a Peoria Chiefs game. Could not recommend it more highly.
Chiefs are 7-7. They were rained out yesterday. Doubleheader today. Lefty Cam Greathouse on the mound for the Chiefs. Well, the star of the show in the Cubs minor league system on the mound has been Rob Whitenack with Daytona. He's 3-0 with a 1.17 ERA. 6 innings against Lakeland last night. Gave up 2 hits, 1 run.
Rarely walks anybody.
They didn't walk anybody in that game last night. 2-2 pitch, low. It's full 3-2. Takes off. Sands couldn't hold up on a pitch off the plate, and that'll be the inning. Kemp with the RBI single makes it 1-1.
This is the dedicated Feldco installation team, and right now they will install Feldco windows absolutely free.
Hey Dave, we're still getting paid for this, right?
Yeah, Jim, we talked about this.
Right now, get free professional installation on all energy-efficient windows from Feldco.
Chicagoland, Feldco is your hometown team. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
While others are content to imitate, we'll continue to innovate. The Lexus RX. Why settle for a copy when you can own the original? Lease the 2011 RX 350 all-wheel drive for $449 a month for 36 months with $38.95 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
Here's Ted Lilly, quoted in the Daily Herald. on his former teammate Ryan Dempster. I can't sit here and tell you how much respect I have for him, for a person first and foremost. What I was able to learn from being around him about the way he treated people, the way he loved this opportunity to pitch, the way he would deal with adversity off the field and on the field. I could kind of, wow, without getting emotional, I don't know how anyone could have created someone as unselfish as Ryan. It's good stuff from Ted Lilly. Now try to strike him out.
I don't think he feels quite so fondly right now.
A 1-1 tie. Bottom of the third. Big swing, 1-1. This is a green game here at Wrigley Field. We've been talking about Earth Week. Cubs have teamed with Constellation Energy to host the first ever green game. We have recycled blue paper for each team's game notes, which I kind of like. Constellation Energy has purchased renewable energy certificates to cover the typical energy usage on a game day here at Wrigley. I can tell you one thing, we use a lot less paper in terms of what we do than we did even 5 years ago. Computer technology and the like.
Got our media guides for every team in Major League Baseball on a little memory stick that you could just pop into your computer rather than carry around piles of media guides.
Foul pop. Barajas is going to make the catch near his own dugout. I used to have like a suitcase for a work bag, and they've been getting smaller and smaller and smaller throughout the years. I'm down to a small backpack at this point. Less is more.
Absolutely.
But I think that happens when you get older as well.
Yeah.
Stuff becomes less important.
I want to lug that stuff around. When we get to the point where I can just bring a pencil to the ballpark, then we'll know we're really green.
Keep score on your iPhone. Here's Starlin Castro, who singled to start the bottom of the first, tried to stretch it into a double and was thrown out by the left fielder Sands. Cubs are 4-1 against lefties, 5-9 versus right-handers here in the early going. A win today would get them to 10-10, and it would set a major league record for consecutive stops at 500 to start a season. It would be their 10th time at 500. You had a nice Yogi Berra-ism yesterday. The Cubs are 7-2 after a loss. And as Yogi might say, you said
we need to lose more often. About as convoluted as it gets. Yeah, but 7-2 after a loss.
7-2 after a loss. So your analysis was you need to lose more.
You need to lose more.
Well,
so
we won that one. Here's Sands fighting the sun. He can't find it. And Castro gets his double.
Welcome to day baseball at Wrigley Field, Jerry Sands. That ball was in the air for a long time. A high pop up to medium depth left field. I don't think Sands ever saw that baseball. Trying to shield his eyes. He's got the shades on. Has no idea where the ball was. With a little more experience, a few more years in the big leagues, a few more games here at Wrigley, he'll learn how to play that ball off to the side and try to keep it out of the sun.
Well, I guess the Cubs should just try to hit pop flies to left. Barney with a double. He smoked one to center and would later come around to score. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Has Teddy kept his foot on the rubber here? Have you been
for the most part. Yeah, I haven't seen him sneak up in front yet. He is working off that far extreme third base side of the rubber just with his toe making contact.
That gets by Barajas. Castro advances to third. A wild pitch.
Well, you could clearly see Barajas come up with that catcher's mitt. The idea is you jam your mitt down into the dirt, you fall down to your shin guards and cover that 5-hole to make sure the ball stays in front. But that time Barajas came up with the glove. Just enough room for that ball to squirt through all the way to the bricks.
Infield in for a 1-1. See what you were talking about. Willie will just get the side of the front of his left foot.
Well, we can't see the entire rubber because there's some dirt covering that corner, but it looks like he's barely in contact with the pitching slab.
Into right, and it'll drop down as Darwin Barney's 2 for 2, and the Cubs lead 2-1. Top 2 guys. In fact, if you add Bird to the list, a combined 5 for 5 to start the game.
Hanging breaking ball that time from Ted Lilly, up and out over the plate. A lot of hitters would see that breaking ball up in the zone like it was right there and try to jerk it out of the ballpark, and invariably you're going to roll over the top of that breaking pitch and hit a ground ball to the left side. But that time Barney stayed right on it, shot a little floater out there into right field for an RBI.
Through the hole into left. So maybe Marlon Byrd starting to heat up again.
Good to see. Fastball middle cut. He just jerked it through that big hole on the left side of the infield as Carroll was shading close to the bag at second in anticipation of a possible double play, and Marlon found that hole.
Ramirez with a sac fly, picking up his 9th RBI. That was in the first. There go the runners. A double steal, and they're both safe. That one's on the pitcher. Barajas had no chance.
We saw a lot of this from Ted Lilly in his time here in Chicago. Teams chose to run at second a lot more so than when they had runners at first base. Tough to get a jump because of Teddy's very slow delivery and his slow leg pickup, but at second base you can read it very easily, and that time both runners with huge jumps.
Swing. Ramirez came up empty, 0-2. Cubs were 2 for 3 in stolen base chances. They just doubled their entire season output on one pitch. At one time we wondered if the Cubs would steal any bases this year.
You mentioned, Len, the top part of the order now 6 for 6. in the ball game today, and that's followed a trend this season. The guys at the top of the order have been getting it done. The guys in the middle are picking up some of the scraps, but the bottom of the order not carrying their weight at all. Busy.
Swing and the miss. Big strikeout for Lilly. His second in the game.
Sometimes it's hard to figure out how Ted Lilly throws that four-seam fastball at 88 miles an hour on the inside part of the plate and gets swings and misses from good fastball hitters, but he sets that pitch up so well with his off-speed stuff, nibbling at the outside corner, elevating pitches in the middle of the plate, and when he does come down and into the right-handed hitters, it catches them by surprise.
I was going to say, for his career, he has struck out 7.7 per 9, so almost 8 batters per 9 innings. This year down below 6. Small sample size, certainly. Baker fouls off. It's 0-2 on Jeff. It'll be nice to get these other two guys in and stretch the lead to 3. Cubs have led twice in this game. The wind condition, the sun, we added about 10 degrees. You'd think it was late June, early July. Very comfortable here at the ballpark today. Temperatures in the 60s. As Baker just got a piece of the changeup. Still 1-2. Might even hear some lawnmowers buzzing around the neighborhood today. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, not snow blowers.
Add and subtract, add and subtract. That's Ted Lilly's game, especially when he gets ahead of a hitter. And that's why it makes his 87, 88 mile an hour four-seamer feel like low to mid 90s. A pop-up on the fastball. Aaron Miles shuffling his feet, makes the catch. The Cubs get 1. They strand 2. It's 2-1 Cubs after 3.
Steve just won the $1,000 a week for life instant game and got himself a new suit.
I'm good.
Getting $1,000 a week every week means his life is worth more than ever. As long as he keeps living, we keep giving.
Hey, babe.
$1,000 a week for life. The longer you live, the more you get.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Hi, I'm Chris Suckamo for Play It Again Sports. Now that golf season is in full swing, it's time to take a look at your old clubs. Have you fallen out of love with your putter or driver? Trade in and trade up. Bring in your used club to trade in and up for better ones. Men's and women's full golf packages start at under $150. Trade in and up for Ping, TaylorMade, Titleist, and Callaway clubs and sets. Juniors, ladies, and lefties welcome. Play It Again Sports, always located in the First Avenue Mini Mall in Iowa City.
Shop Menards during the spring sale for unbelievable savings. Add style to your home with Patriot Lighting. This double glass outdoor light in black finish with opal glass encased in clear glass is $16.98. The Napa outdoor light in antique bronze finish with opal glass is only $19.99. Keep your family safe with Kidda products. This front load smoke alarm is $8.88. This digital carbon monoxide alarm with an easy to read large backlit display is $17.98.
Save big money at Menards.
This fourth inning is brought to you by Fourth Meal from Taco Bell. Open 1 a.m. or later. Happy belated birthday wishes to Chip Marshall, big Cub fan from Glenview, unofficial president of the Vince Lloyd Fan Club. Also want to give a shout out to Grandma Marshall and all of the family and friends watching in Cedar Rapids, Iowa today. James Loney looks at a Ryan Dempster pitch for a strike. 2-1 Cubs in the fourth.
Let's say hello to another big Cubs fan down in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Mike Martinez, watching the ball game today. Big Cubby fan.
Caught the outside corner, 0-2.
Mike is also recovering from knee replacement surgery. Hang in there, Mike. I know what you're going through. It's going to get better.
Do you have your old knee somewhere, by the way?
You know, I thought about that. That would have been nice to keep in a mayonnaise jar somewhere.
What could you fetch on eBay for your old replaced knee?
Well, I've been warned that you can't sell body parts on eBay.
Is that something you've considered before? I don't know if I want to go down this road anymore. Forget I asked.
I do remember somebody, I think, a pitcher tried to sell some bone chips that he had taken out of his elbow.
We're good with guacamole. Loney lines out. Stroll through the home of the Chicago Cubs, get an insider's look at more than 97 years of history in this legendary ballpark. Guided tours may include visits to the press box, clubhouses, and dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Tour sizes are limited and sell out fast, so get your tickets today. Rod Barajas. Strike one. Braves and Giants will go at it again today in San Francisco. Tim Hudson against Tim Lincecum. Dempster picks it up and gets Barajas.
One more Cubs hello and get well wishes to Debbie Oshana from Niles. Comes from your friend Lieutenant Dave in Arizona.
Braves a 4-1 winner last night over San Francisco. Reds and Cardinals later this afternoon. What a bizarre night they had last night. With impending rain, they started the game on time, and a couple minutes later they had over a 2-hour rain delay. Kyle McClellan was supposed to start, but Tony La Russa made a late switch. He went with Miguel Batista instead, who walked Drew Stubbs on 4 pitches, threw 2 more to Brandon Phillips, and then they stopped the game. So Edinson Volquez, who was ready to go after the 2-hour delay, Dusty Baker decided, you know what, we can't use Volquez tonight, so he went with Matt Maloney instead, and the Cardinals ended up winning the game 4-2. Today, Travis Wood slated to face Chris Carpenter. Normally they don't start a game knowing the rain is going to hit that soon. The home team does determine when the game starts. However, once the first pitch is thrown, it's up to the crew chief. Two to Carroll. A couple different ways to look at that situation. Was that gamesmanship on the part of Tony La Russa, or if you're Dusty Baker, do you have to have a better idea of what the forecast says? Probably debate that all day, as Carroll is now 2 for 2. I mean, what generally, Bob, is the courtesy there? I mean, I know that you know, the Cubs, when we have rain, we often see Carl Rice and Crane Kenny down in the field, and a lot of times they go over to the visitors' dugout and inform the visiting team what the forecast looks like and what their plan is.
I don't really know if there's a rule that covers it, but you know, in the past, the grounds crew has kept both teams updated as to what they expect the weather to do, where the window is, how long it's going to take to get the field ready. And you know, certainly it would be easy to confuse the visiting team, but to the best of my knowledge, that doesn't happen.
Lilly flies out, and that ends the inning. The Dodgers leave 1. The Cubs have a 2-1 lead.
At Planters, living a healthy lifestyle is important. What's my secret? Well, this. A tasty nutrition blend that helps keep the legs pumping. Planters Nutrition, specially mixed for a remarkably nutritious snack.
Want to see all the action from the front row? Now you can with the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. Front row seats will be auctioned off to each game all season long. For more information, visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. The best seats are always a click away.
Meet me by the sea again, past the point the shoreline bends, where the sand is soft and warm and hangs upon your golden arm, and time won't move at all.
This is the dedicated Feldco installation team, and right now they will install Feldco windows absolutely free.
Hey, Dave, we're still getting paid for this, right?
Yeah, Jim, we talked about this.
Right now, get free professional installation on all energy-efficient windows from Feldco.
Chicagoland, Feldco is your hometown team. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Time to salute Menard's grounds crew. Boy, you talk about the fans being happy to see the sunshine today. These guys have been working double duty throughout all the rain we've had throughout this homestand, the cold weather. They've kept the field in tremendous condition and are doing so once again today.
The Cubs with the lead. They'll try to tack on. We're excited to have the award-winning indie rock band Arcade Fire sing the 7th inning stretch a little later. Only 2 members, though. They have like 35 people in the band. Only 2 will actually come up and sing. Don't quite have enough room to accommodate all of them. One ball, one strike. And Geovany Soto. A late lunch for the youngster.
Nap time not far away. Well, life's good. Got a soft seat. A full belly watching a ball game. Cubs are winning. Life's good.
Pulled on the ground in the left for a leadoff single.
Reaches out and hooks that backdoor slider through the hole in the left side of the infield. That's kind of been Teddy's signature pitch the last couple of years. Something he didn't really throw much before he came to the Cubs, but it became a very valuable weapon for him. That slider that he starts off the plate away, gets a right-handed hitter to give up on it, and then it late breaks to the outside corner. That time Geovany Soto ruined it by reaching out over the plate and hooking it back through the hole.
Two strikes to Soriano. Ice cream in a helmet.
That might be the first cup of ice cream sold here at the ballpark this year. Hot chocolate's been a big seller.
Soriano has struck out twice. 3 now for Lilly. Hey, this May, the Cubs are hosting the 2nd annual fantasy camp here at Wrigley Field. Join us on May 15th and 16th when 40 participants will receive the most extraordinary game day and on-field experience imaginable. This year's legends include Ernie Banks, Billy Williams, Fergie Jenkins, and others. We talked to Randy Hundley yesterday. He'll be here. Reserve your roster spot today by calling 773-404-4748 or visit Cubs.com/premier. Johnson rolled into a 3-6-3 double play in the 2nd inning. Cubs lead 2-1. Fastball at 86 for a strike. Nationals and Pirates were rained out last night. Later this evening it'll be Livan Hernandez against Jeff Karstens. Boy, Levo just keeps on going. 2-1 with a 2.88. That's drilled out into the gap. We'll see if Soto can score. Going to roll all the way to the wall, and Gio should be able to trot home. Reed Johnson with an RBI double makes it 3-1. And he's going to end up at third as the throw got by. So it'll be a double and an error.
Another fastball up and out over the plate. Reed Johnson perfectly splits that gap in right center field. This is the 2nd time in a few days that Geovany Soto's had to motor around and score from first base. Running the bases extremely well, and when the Dodgers botched that relay back to the infield, Reed was able to advance on to third with 1 out in the inning.
Infield in, it's Ryan Dempster at the plate. The error will be charged to Matt Kemp. The 1-0 pitch down the middle, 1-1.
Gio's looking for some oxygen. Got to be some air somewhere. Deep breath. There you go. And most catchers I know have extremely strong muscles in their legs, especially their quadriceps muscles in the front of their thighs, but they're not made for running.
picked up by Loney. Johnson has to hold. Nice play by Loney for the second out.
Was hit hard. Unfortunately, just a step or so to the right of James Loney, who's able to corral it and get the out at first base and hold Reed Johnson at third at the same time.
Two down. It's Castro, who's already 2 for 2 with a double and a run. Almost had a no-hitter last night in Florida. Anibal Sanchez went into the ninth against the Rockies with a no-no. And the Rockies would only pick up 1 hit the entire game. That was a broken bat single by Dexter Fowler to lead off that ninth inning. So Florida now has won 4 straight. Tonight it'll be Jason Hamill against Javier Vasquez. Milwaukee pounded Houston last night 14-7. Brewers just a half game back of the Cardinals in the Central. Sean Markham will get the ball tonight for Milwaukee against Brett Myers. That'll be a pretty good matchup. How about the Padres? They got shut out again last night. They've played 20 games. They've been shut out 6 times and 3 times in their last 5 games. Joe Blanton and Tim Stauffer a little bit later in that one. Lilly gets a sign from Barajas. Big leg kick, 2-2 pitch. Base hit left field, 4-1. Castro has 3 hits.
Earlier in the season, Starlin Castro got a lot of his base hits back up the middle of the field, but more recently he's been looking to pull the ball, especially when he gets a count in his favor. Can anticipate a fastball, and that time a good quick swing, producing that hard ground ball through the left side for an RBI.
It's already 7 3-hit games for Starlin Castro. Low to Barney. White Sox just can't get on a roll. They've dropped 8 of 9 after losing in Detroit last night. Edwin Jackson will oppose Brad Penny later today. They got Castro, maybe. Nope, he's safe. Just kept running. And he picks up his 2nd steal on the day.
Well, that's a smart play by Starlin Castro. You may say, how can it be a smart play? He got picked off. We talked about Ted Lilly and his slow, deliberate leg kick to first base. And he will do what he tried to do right there to Castro. He'll start to lift his leg. He'll read the runner. That time Castro just outran the relay. Ted Lilly very slow with his delivery to Loney. Loney got it to second base quickly, but Starlin just outran the relay. Yeah, if you wait until Ted gets to the top of that leg kick and starts his delivery to home plate, you're probably going to get thrown out at second base every time.
His first steal today, third on the year. Cubs have 3 in this ball game.
Barney fouls off a pitch that was headed for the dirt. See Dodger catcher Rod Barajas was already down on his shin guards getting ready to block that pitch down and in, and Barney somehow got a piece of it. Watch the catcher. He sets up away. Pitch is headed down and in. He's going down to block it. Barney swings at it.
Hit right field. Here comes Castro. He will score. Cubs doing it with 2 outs. Castro gets on, steals second, scores on the hit by Barney. It's 5-1.
Very similar to the base hit that Darwin Barney got back in the 3rd inning. That one came on a hanging curveball. This one on a high slider. Very similar swing inside out to right field. Ethier just lobs the ball back into the infield as the Cubs take a 4-run lead.
So back-to-back 2-out RBI singles. And Bird pops it foul. This will make the seats. This is the kind of day you thought maybe a couple of 3-run homers might do the trick. Instead, it's 10 hits. Runner goes, and they've got Barney caught between first and second. And he's going to be out. No, he's going to be given second. Don Mattingly's going to come out. Was there contact made?
That's the only thing I can figure out. A runner caught in a rundown, if he makes contact with a defensive player who does not have the baseball, that's considered obstruction, and the runner is given the next base.
I think they're saying that Loney didn't give him anywhere to run.
Yeah, he had to go out of the baseline to avoid James Loney. I mean, it would have been just as easy for Darwin Barney right there to just run into Loney, and he would have achieved the same result. Some odd calls early in the game today for second base umpire Bill Welke, but I do think he got it right. I mean, you're not allowed to go out of the baseline to avoid a tag, and Darwin Barney was not avoiding a tag. He was avoiding the defensive player who was blocking his way back to first base. Not sure why Aaron Miles didn't give that ball up. Very similar to the play where Starlin Castro was able to steal second base on a pickoff attempt. This time James Loney stepped well into the infield to take the throw. Aaron Miles doing a nice job of playing keep away there. He wasn't going to let anybody else touch the ball. I mean, Loney was in position. He had stepped up to cut down some of the distance between himself and a possible throw from Aaron Miles, but the throw never came.
Well, Don Mattingly saw it all as a player. He was a fantastic first baseman. In his playing days, he won 9 Gold Gloves as a New York Yankee.
Show you our Coors Light freeze cam. This is the pickoff of Starlin Castro at first base. One thing to take note of, where was James Loney? He's still on the bag right there as Ted Lilly throws the ball. He does take a couple of steps into the infield, but by the time he gets it there, and Miles Castro is sliding in safely with a stolen base. Freeze cam, as always, is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And I noticed on the Darwin Barney pickoff, Loney was much more aggressive, got another step or two into the infield as he took the throw from Lilly.
And after all that, Bird will ground out to Carroll. And that ends the inning, but the Cubs add 3 to their lead. It's now 5-1.
Hello, Jimmy John's?
Jimmy John's here.
What took you so long?
Jimmy John's, freaky fast delivery.
I love a man in uniform.
Get amazing dollar deals during the Crazy Day sale at Menards. For 3 days only, get unbelievable deals. Prices so low, they're crazy. You'll find free items, dollar items, $2 items, and more. Check out the Menards Crazy Days dollar deals. But hurry, the sale ends Sunday, and these deals won't last long. Good while supplies last, and you don't want to miss these prices.
Save big money at Menards.
What's your idea of financial security?
My idea of financial security? Enough for an early retirement.
No matter where you're starting from, Country Financial can help you achieve it.
Helping my grandkids with college.
Protection for my new driver.
At Country Financial, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
Tuesday, the Bulls are back on home court as they battle the Pacers in Game 5 at the Madhouse. Coverage begins at 6:30 with McDonald's Bulls pregame live. Bulls, Pacers, Game 5, Tuesday night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Hey, fans, text footlong to 29653. If you're the 500th texter, you could win 5 $5 footlong subs from Subway. And just a reminder, once again, Comcast Sportsnet celebrates Earth Week. Green is universal.
Top of the order. For the Dodgers, Ryan Dempster working with a 5-1 lead, looking for his second win of the year. Again, 4 starts coming in without a quality outing. He's also trying to snap a 5-game losing streak here at Wrigley Field. Cornerman in against Aaron Miles, who shoots one the other way for a base hit. Brings up Blake, who is 1 for 1 with a walk and their lone run. Fastball is up for ball 1. Yankees and Orioles were washed out last night, so they'll try it again tonight. Sabathia and Ferguson scheduled starters. Yankees leading the American League East by 2.5 games starting play today. Texas got 5 home runs last night, beat the Royals. Rangers jumped ahead of the Angels in the West. A deep drive. Casey Blake has cut the lead in half with a 2-run homer. It's now 5-3. So Blake really heating up. It's his 4th hit of the series.
A hanging slider on that inside part of the plate. Blake with a nice short quick swing, got the barrel of the bat on the ball. Soriano only took a couple of steps before conceding that that one was going to end up in the bleachers.
Still nobody out. Base is empty and ball 1 to Andre Ethier.
Blake kind of snuck in under the radar in yesterday's ball game as well. Got a couple of base hits, drew a walk, scored 2 runs. All the attention was focused on the guy at the plate and the man in the on-deck circle.
What a pick by Ramirez. Throw to first. He gets it. It was a wicked hop, and Ramirez fielded it cleanly and gets Ethier.
And that ball off the bat of a left-handed hitter, when he hits it hard like Ethier did to the left side, you're never quite sure what that bounce is going to do. There's a little side English on the ball, maybe a little backspin as well. That time Ramirez with 2 steps and a dive to his left throws on in plenty of time to get Ethier at first.
Always good to face Matt Kemp with nobody on. Ball 1. Now 2-0. Home run ball is bitten Ryan Dempster here in the early going. He's allowed 6 home runs. That one will get out as well. Matt Kemp with his 5th of the year. It's 5-4. So just like that, they get all 3 runs back after the Cubs put a little distance in this game in the 4th inning.
That ball got out of here in a hurry. Once again, it comes on a slider up over the middle of the plate. Ryan just can't seem to drive that pitch down to the bottom of the zone or out toward the outside corner. A lot of them just spinning up there in the middle of the plate, and Matt Kemp hit that ball out of here in a second.
Sands was trying for their 3rd homer of this inning, and he missed it. 0-1. So he still has the lead, but it'll be another non-quality start for Ryan Dempster, as they have scored 4 runs. Swing and a miss. Sands punches out. And with 2 outs, it'll be James Loney.
Much better slider this time. Look at the location. Started on the outer third, slid off the outside corner to get the swinging strike from Sands. However, a lot of the sliders today have been right dead center in the middle of the strike zone with very little movement.
2-0 now. Things starting to even out a little bit over in that AL East. Boston has now won 6 of 7 after starting the year at 2-10. So everybody in that division, at the very least, is within 3 games of 500. The Red Sox are 8-11, but only 3.5 out.
Was Baltimore 6-0 at one point?
Yeah, I think so. They went through a long losing streak.
Yeah, they've only won 2 of their last 12.
(2-2) to Loney.
Well, that's why we don't start postseason baseball in the middle of April.
That's right.
You got to play all summer.
A pop-up, shallow left, and it'll be Castro to make the catch. Actually, Orioles started 6-1, so they have struggled a lot lately. 5-4 Cubs. Luke, thanks a lot. 5-4, the Cubs with a lead. Each team with 3 runs in the last at bat. As Ramirez takes ball 1 low from Ted Lilly. By the way, the scoring on the Darwin Barney attempt to steal second base. No steal. Obstruction on the first baseman, Loney. He gets an error. In the right, as Ethier drifts to his left. 2 hands on it. 1 away. Hard throwing Mike McDougal up for the 2nd time for the Dodgers. Gorgeous day here at the ballpark. Come on out. 4 games left on the homestand after today. The tickets are still available. Dodgers and Cubs tomorrow. Rockies come in Monday through Wednesday. .1-0 pitch. Now 2-0 to Baker. Mariners with back-to-back shutouts of the A's. Later tonight, Trevor Cahill and Jason Vargas in Seattle. Baker with his first hit today. It's 11 for the Cubs. Time now for our Xfinity high-speed action. We like to highlight those catchers going first to home. Come on, Gio.
Flying. Just straight flying around those bases.
Here comes Don Mattingly. And he will take the ball from Ted Lilly. So in his return to Wrigley Field, he will leave trailing 5-4. It's the Toyota call to the pen. Mike McDougall coming in to face Soto. Brings on a fireballer, Mike McDougall. Well, throughout his career, his fastball is averaged around 94, 95, 96 miles an hour. Just trying to put it all together. Off to a good start here with the Dodgers this season through 8 appearances.
And with the all right-handed hitting lineup, you just knew Don Mattingly was going to go to a righty in relief of Ted Lilly. Also because he has no lefties available in the bullpen.
Boy, you're good. You knew he was going to go with a righty, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You held out on me. You didn't tell me.
McDougall's issue throughout his career has always been the inability to consistently throw strikes, because when he's in the zone, he is tough to make solid contact against.
Was an all-star back in 2003 with Kansas City when he saved 27 games. Baker at first, 1 out, Geovany Soto at the dish. McDougall, tall and lanky, 6'4", 175.
Always fun to block those 95-mile-an-hour fastballs in the dirt that far out in front of home plate, but that time Barajas able to handle it.
Dougal all over the place. Now Barajas will try to get him straightened out.
Past, we've watched catchers work with Mike McDougall. They look more like goalies, diving to their left and right, trying to block that 5-hole and keep the ball from going through. 3 pitches in, Barajas has already been put to the test back there.
Missed again low for ball 4. Soriano has struck out twice. Those at-bats were against Ted Lilly. The wind has calmed down for the time being. Flag's not doing a ton out in center. As I say that, they just started to kick up again.
Just taking a break.
Two, that was a pitcher's strike, not only 96 but well located.
4 pitches to Gio, none of them close to the strike zone. Fonzie steps in and McDougal dots the inside corner and then comes back with a slider on the outside corner to jump ahead 0-2.
Foul tip, strike 3.
Sliding out off of that outside corner. Not a lot of movement on that McDougal slider. He throws it at 84 miles an hour, but perfect location, leading Soriano right out of the zone.
Johnson stays in there against the righty. Why not? 1 for 2 with an RBI double today, and 6 for his last 9. Only Soto. Everybody at normal depth with 2 outs.
If Reed Johnson were hitting in another spot in the lineup in this situation, you might see him try to drop down a bunt for a base hit. Casey Blake is playing way back at third, as is Loney at first. McDougal not a good fielder on the mound, but always have to think of who am I setting it up for, and Ryan Dempster's a hitter in the on-deck circle. So Reed Johnson's going to try to drive in that run from second. At the top or the middle of the order, where you know you have hitters following you, the idea is just get on base and set the table for the guy hitting behind me, but not when you've got the pitcher hitting behind you.
Two and one. Tampa Bay leading Toronto 5-2. They just put up 3 in the 6th. Johnny Damon going to play through a broken finger. The break is right at the tip of his finger, so he's going to play through it, and he hit a home run today. He's the DH for the Rays. David Price, 6 solid innings to date. Game in the top of the 7th. Twins pounding the Indians 8-1. It's a strike on a slider. 2-2. 7th inning at Target Field. Started late in New York. The Mets lead 2-1 over Arizona in the second.
I was just going to say that fastball registered 96 on our gun. On the gun here at Wrigley Field, 100 miles an hour, it said, for that last fastball. Might be a little hot.
It's the gun heating up with the weather.
Absolutely.
McDougal's next pitch, trying to get him on a slider, and it's just outside. 3-2. Runners will go with his next pitch.
Good pitcher's pitch, but not in the strike zone. That slider starts on the outside corner, just falls off the plate. Good take by Reed Johnson. See if Gio can score from first base again.
And they take off. It's ball 4.
Demps, turn it up a little bit. Fastball's going to be a lot more firm than anything you saw from Ted Lilly in your first 2 at-bats of this game.
Was able to hold up on his swing. 1 ball, no strikes. Taken all the way. Dempster was not going to swing, and it's 2-0.
I think that's a good approach in this situation. Obviously, everybody wants to swing the bat and do some damage with the bases loaded, but I'm not so sure Mike McDougal can throw 3 strikes before he throws 4 balls. Way up out of the strike zone with a 94-mile-an-hour heater.
Rick Honeycutt will go out and chat with him. Say, I'm not very good at math, but you need to throw 3 strikes before 2 balls here. I think Dempster will at least take 1.
I would think so. I mean, if Ryan had a little more of a track record as an offensive player, maybe like Carlos Zambrano or the young Casey Coleman, we've seen him swing the bat extremely well. Then maybe you turn them loose knowing that they're not going to chase a pitch out of the zone, but with Ryan, I think they'll have him take until McDougal throws him a strike.
And there it is. Which, as always, leads us to believe that Rick Honeycutt told him throw strikes.
Throw strikes. Good meeting.
Two and two. Full count, 3-2. This huge crowd getting up. Bases loaded. 3-2. 2 outs in the 5th. And the pitch. He struck him out swinging. Cubs leave the bases loaded. They still lead by a run after 5.
Let's see you fly now.
Look, more frequent flyer red tape. Not on my watch.
Let that family fly.
I just wanted to use miles to take my family on vacation, but...
Let me guess, restrictions through the roof.
That's right.
Not anymore. Rapid Rewards has your back.
Join Rapid Rewards and enjoy unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates, and no red tape.
No matter what you're building, get professional results with Quikrete fast-setting concrete in the red bag. It sets hard in minutes. Find out more at Quikrete.com. Quikrete, for over 70 years, it's what America's made of.
Hey, would you mind if I asked Sheila out?
Of course not. We broke up 6 months ago. I don't think she'd go for a guy like...
She said she'd love to. She can't wait to see me. She's wanted me to ask her out for over a year now. She just sent me a video.
Hi, Steve. Oh, can I see that?
Yeah.
Can't wait for a date.
In the network, sparks fly faster. AT&T is getting faster with 4G. Rethink possible.
Due to the length of this game, we now move ahead in the action.
Tomorrow, the Blackhawks have the Canucks against the ropes. Tune in for Game 6 as the NHL playoffs return to Chicago. Exclusive coverage starts at 6 with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live from the United Center. Blackhawks and Canucks, Game 6 tomorrow night at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet. Ryan Dempster maintaining a 1-run lead. His good friend Ted Lilly is out of the game. Gave up 5 runs in his 4 1/3. Bottom 3, Barajas, Carroll, and a pinch hitter for the Dodgers. Nobody put a ball in play among the 4 hitters who faced Mike McDougall. He walked 2 and struck out 2. High in the air, that ball carrying Marlon Byrd back on the warning track. Gone. Rod Barajas has just tied the game. Already his 4th homer of the season. That's 3 blasts the last 2 innings for the Dodgers. And Bobby just got it up in the wind.
When we talked about him earlier in the ballgame, that's what he does as a extreme lift swing, always looking to pull that ball and hit it in the air if possible. That one appeared to be just a routine fly ball on a normal day, but got it up into that jet stream. Bird tracking it all the way back to the vines, but ends up in the first row of the bleachers out there in left center.
That gets Lilly off the hook. Ted will get a no decision today. Pop fly right field for Reed Johnson. Carroll out for the first time, and Tony Gwynn Jr. will bat for McDougall. There's Vicente Padilla. He just came off the disabled list yesterday, coming off forearm surgery, which he underwent during spring training. He will make his season debut in the bottom of the 6th, and the Cubs now have 2 guys up, Samardzija and Marshall. Pinch hitter Tony Gwynn came off the bench and 1 for 2 yesterday. Always great to see Cubs professional scouting coordinator Jake Siraki, normally working hard, but maybe has a day off today.
No tie today for Jake, so he's just slumming out here watching a ball game.
Don't see any charts or anything. 2-1 on the way. That's high. It's 3-1 to Gwynn. Soriano coming in, gets by him. That's trouble. Gwynn trying to make third. The throw's going to be offline. It'll be a triple for Tony Gwynn. Well, that's a tough risk to take in a tie game if you're Alfonso Soriano.
Well, we've seen fly balls carry a lot deeper than we anticipated. It looked like he was in pretty good shape right there. I don't know. Thought he was going to make the shoestring catch. Just got underneath his glove, rolls all the way out to the warning track where Marlon Byrd had to come over and track it down. Still had a shot at Gwynn at this point, but Marlon's throw back to the infield, you could see it sail by there, was way to the infield side of the bag.
Yeah, actually, Soriano on the replay did get closer to making that catch than it appeared originally. And once it got by him, Gwynn had his sights set on 3, and that'll require now the Cubs to bring the infield in with the go-ahead run only 90 feet away. The contact guy and Aaron Miles. Soto, and Gwynn is going to hold.
It's a break for the Cubs right there. That ball briefly got behind Gio. Fortunately for the Cubs, it was directly in line with the baseline, and as Soto turned around to chase the ball, Gwynn couldn't see how far away from home plate the ball went. And you can see he's just completely screened. Gwynn didn't know where the ball was. Neither did Geovany Soto initially, but able to recover in time to hold the runner at third.
As Castro backed up, they'll get the out at first. Gwynn stays at third.
Ground ball almost has to be hit directly at an infielder when you're playing in that shallow, and fortunately this time it was hit on 2 hops right at Starlin Castro, drawn in from his shortstop position for the second out of the inning.
Blake hit the big home run to get the Dodgers back in this game. Made it 5-3, a 2-run homer in the 5th. For ball 2. Dodgers have not yet led today, but they have come back a couple of different times. With his 19-game hitting streak on the line would be next. And if he does come up, it may be Sean Marshall to face him. Marshall's ready in the bullpen along with Samardzija. 3-1. There's ball 4. And that will end Ryan Dempster's afternoon. Toyota call to the pen brings on Sean Marshall. We'll be back.
While others are content to imitate, we'll continue to innovate. The Lexus RX. Why settle for a copy when you can own the original? Lease the 2011 RX 350 all-wheel drive for $449 a month for 36 months with $38.95 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
Business owners, listen up. Are you looking to bring in new customers easily and for less money? Well, now it's time to reach your local prospects online and by email. All local with no waste and so easy. Post your coupon today before our price goes up. It'll take you less than 5 minutes.
10 Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, coupons.com.
A weekly email with great deals from local businesses. 10 Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, coupons.com.
It's the Toyota call to the pen, and 28-year-old left-hander Sean Marshall will come in to face Andre Ethier.
Good numbers on the season for Sean Marshall. Andre Ethier, the man stepping into the batter's box, 0 for 4 lifetime against the Cubs lefty.
166th relief appearance for Marshall. Cubs relievers have stranded 22 in a row in terms of inherited runners on the season. They rank #1 in the major leagues, just under 90%. 2 on here with 2 down, and Ethier takes a strike. Curveball caught the inside corner. They call that the front door breaker.
Breaking ball pretty much starts right at Andre Ethier. Just does drop down to the inside corner for strike 1.
Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Boy, so far a really nice sequence from Sean Marshall. The big slow curve to jump ahead, strike 1, came back with another slow curve, tried to get Ethier to chase a bad pitch out of the zone. Then after seeing 2 slow breaking balls, Sean Marshall goes with a hard late breaking slider to get the swinging strike.
Comes back with a curveball, and the Dodgers get their first lead of the day. Gwynn is in. Blake tries to score, and he will standing. Andre Ethier now has a 20-game hitting streak, and that's a big knock. A 2-run double. Those runs will be charged to the starter Dempster.
Like the sequence right up until the last pitch. The worst breaking ball he threw in the sequence. That one just kind of swept across the strike zone. Ethier had already seen 2 of the big slow curves and waited back and roped this one down into the right field corner.
This time Marshall's given up inherited runs. He was 2 for 2 going into today. And 0-1 to Matt Kemp. 2 for 3, a home run, and 2 knocked in. Dodgers have scored the last 6 runs in this game to take a 7-5 lead. Well, the Cubs got their big lead by stringing together a lot of hits in an inning, doubles and singles. The Dodgers have gotten back in it with extra base hits, home runs, and a triple and a double in this inning.
I was just going to say, Len, that still 12 outs to work with offensively in this ball game for the Cubs. They've had some opportunities already in this game and failed to cash in when they could really put some distance between themselves and the Dodgers. And now the Dodgers have crept back into the lead. They're going to bemoan those runners left on base.
Kemp chased, and that will be the inning. But they get 3 big ones and now lead by 2.
What is value? Is it too much of a good thing, or is it something that only the precious few can afford? Hello, precious. But you and I know better. Value means getting all the quality you want at the right price. Whether you upload, download, send, or receive, or just want to call mom to say, hola, you need a network that can deliver real value.
And that network is Verizon. Get mom a new Samsung Fascinate for $99.99 and unlimited data for only $29.99 on America's largest high-speed wireless network.
Es tu mamá. She deserves it.
With real-time four-wheel drive and vehicle stability assist, the CR-V responds instantly to changing road conditions. A Honda CR-V four-wheel drive, capable, whatever the forecast.
Are you going to the game or looking for a place to watch it? The Captain Morgan Club on Addison and Sheffield is calling your name. Open year-round with 30 flat-screen TVs and an outdoor patio. Come to the Captain Morgan Club to watch the Cubs and every sporting event. Tickets or no tickets, we're calling all captains.
Whoa! I got a winner! I got a winner!
At 89 cents, everyone's a winner. The new cheesy double-decker taco. A crunchy taco and nacho cheese sauce all wrapped up. So it's like getting twice the taco. Only at Taco Bell. Why pay more?
Hey, Cub fans, tickets are selling quickly, but there's still time to get great seats for the 2011 season. Bleacher seats are still available as well. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office.
Love to see you out here. And still 4 games left on this homestand. There you see the numbers for Vicente Padilla from last year. This will be his 2011 debut, coming off forearm surgery. They activated him from the disabled list prior to yesterday's game. A couple of rehab starts at Rancho Cucamonga. So the Cubs down for the first time, 7-5. Padilla was an all-star in 2002. From Chinandega, Nicaragua. 6 feet, 232 pounds. 33 years old.
Throws a couple different fastballs, a sinking fastball and a four-seamer that will stay fairly straight.
Making that transition to a reliever. It's a ground ball out. Blake throws out Starlin Castro.
We'll also see Padilla throw a curve, an occasional slider, occasional straight changeup. Especially when he was in the starting rotation, he would mix all those pitches. But pitching out of the bullpen, it still remains to be seen what his arsenal will consist of.
He was a reliever right when he began his career with Arizona and Philadelphia, but then made the transition to a starter, and he really has been in a starting role since 2002. He can get a little wild. He's hit a few batters over the years.
I'm not sure how wild he was when he hit those batters, but yeah, he does plunk the occasional opposing hitter, as does Ted Lilly. If you want to get in a beanball war with the Dodgers, you better be prepared.
To Barney. Hit foul into the upper deck. Well, the top of this order had been so good early in the game. Now you need to ask him to set the table some more. Castro just made his first out. Barney is 3 for 3, has knocked in 2.
Can still rush it up there in the mid-90s. He's always had a very live arm despite the number of injuries that he's suffered throughout his career.
Call strike 3. 2 down.
Not a strike. Very close, just off of the outside corner, however. One word for you. Questec.
Bird 2 for 3. These guys are former Phillies teammates. Got his bat.
Did that hit his bat?
It sounded like it. No, it's glove. Okay, it was a glove. It sounded like it hit wood, but instead it was leather. Doesn't really matter at this point as Blake gets his man. Cubs go down in order. Diaz strong in his season debut, 7-5.
Look outside. It's grow time. So let's plant some perennials that'll turn up every year. Trees and shrubs to give us depth. And fill it out with flowers placed in just the perfect place. Let's spend less, but plant more. What do you say we plant a weekend, water it, and watch a summer spring up? More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. We're lowering the cost of summer salads with live vegetables. Buy 2, get 1 free.
One Coors Light coming up. Here you go.
Thanks. Bob, sweet setup.
Yeah, ever since I got this Coors Light home draft, it's like having a bar at home. Thanks.
What's your girlfriend gonna say?
I got that covered.
You're not on the list.
Bob has a list?
And you're not on it.
The Coors Light Home Draft. CO2 pressurized for up to 30 days of fresh frost brewed draft beer right from your fridge.
Big Darryl, give it up. How you doing, Sarah? Good to see you.
Come on, really?
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
When Ken's brakes started squeaking on the Edens, and Pam's check engine light came on near Michigan Avenue, and before Tom headed out to the lake house, it all came here. Midas. Total car care. Total customer care. That's the Midas touch.
Dodgers won 12-2 yesterday, and they had a big comeback today, down 5-1 at one point. They now lead 7-5. Sean Marshall getting into the 7th here. Gave up the 2-run double to Ethier. Those runs charged to the starter Dempster. And he struck out Matt Kemp. And a strike, 1-1 on Jerry Sands. Guerrier, former Twin, up for L.A. Will Butler and Marika Anthony Shaw from Arcade Fire. They will conduct the 7th inning stretch. They won the 2011 Grammy for the Album of the Year, The Suburbs. In town performing at the UIC Pavilion. Marshall ready for a payoff delivery, and a ground ball base hit into left. Like a breaking ball, and you know, with Sean Marshall, Bob, you're going to live and die by that breaking ball. That's his bread and butter.
Yeah, ideally he keeps it down in the zone, keeps it out of the middle of the plate. That's just what he does. You know, he's got tremendous command of 2 breaking pitches. His fastball is above average, but he has the ultimate confidence in those breaking pitches.
Big plans tonight, like an Easter egg hunt or anything? I know we'll be working tomorrow on the holiday.
Just going over to my daughter and her husband's house tonight. Barbecue some burgers.
Very nice.
Yeah. You know, when the sun comes out, you got to fire up the barbecue.
Fly ball to deep center. Marlon Byrd with the catch, and that sends Sands back to first.
If we do have an egg hunt, I'll know exactly where to look in the fridge.
Barajas tied the game with a leadoff home run in the 6th.
I know you've got big plans tonight.
Oh yeah, I've got a little birthday party to attend. And then going to check out Material Issue over at Abbey Pub.
Nice.
Reconvene for the 20th anniversary of their International Pop Overthrow album, which the festival's named after.
Check on Sands over at first base. Good double play opportunity here with Barajas at the plate. Does not run well. If you can make a pitch down at the bottom of the strike zone, get that ground ball, you're looking for a real good chance to turn 2.
Called strike, and the throw is going to get into center, and Sands will end up at third. It'll be a stolen base and an error. A throwing error on Soto.
Huge jump by Sands over there at first base. He just took off on Sean Marshall's first movement. Gio in his haste to get it down there because he knew Sands had a big jump. Looked like he never had a good grip on that ball. Throws a sinker out there in front of the bag at second. Gets through all the way into center field. Stolen base Error on Geovany Soto to put Sands at third base with one out.
First career steal for Sands. Infield in. 1-1 count on Barajas. Cubs can't afford to give up anything more here. Already trailing by 2, and it's getting late. 1-2. Ground ball, runner goes. Throw goes to the plate. Safe. The ball got out of Soto's glove, but I don't know if he would have been able to apply the tag in time. So it's 8-5.
Because the Dodgers are down near the bottom of their order, they're playing much more aggressively on the bases. Sands was off on contact. Looked like the ball beat him to home plate. Unfortunately, Castro's throw is a tough short hop for Geovany Soto to handle, and ball trickles away as Sands slides home with the Dodgers' 8th run of the game.
Yeah, they would have had him. There's no doubt. Fielder's choice RBI for Barajas, and they now lead by 3. They've scored 20 runs in this series. They came in near the bottom of the league in runs. Called strike to Jamie Carroll. Pulled right into the Cubs dugout. That one bounded over the chain link fence in front of the dugout. Samardzija ready if needed. Marcus Timms, who came off the bench, hit a pinch hit home run yesterday, is on deck in the pitcher's spot. Knee buckler, but it was just off the plate inside. Dodgers have spread it around, so to speak. Blake, Ethier, Kemp, and Barajas, each with 2 RBIs, counting for their 8 runs. Casey Blake has scored 3 times. 2 for 2 with 2 walks and a home run. Fly ball right center. Bird tracking, makes the catch. Barajas scampers back to first. 2 outs. That'll bring up Marcus Timms as a pinch hitter, as Mike Quaddy is going to go with Jeff Samardzija. So it's the Toyota call to the pen. We'll be back 8-5 Dodgers.
Josh. What's up, boss? What's up? You give it a try.
Rip it. Oh, okay. Josh, this is a rarity.
Hey, it's all right. Get back in there, babe.
Come on.
A little rusty.
Hey, guys, this new batting practice jersey, it's not working. It's broken.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Wait, let me try mine.
Okay. Wow.
Mine's working fine.
Introducing the new MLB Authentic Collection batting practice jersey by Majestic. Now you can look like your favorite player, even if you can't play like him.
Takanami. Sushi, perfected. An artist's blending of the freshest ingredients. Come check out our delicious happy hour sushi. More than sushi, perfect for a quick lunch or dinner. Voted best sushi restaurant 5 years running. Call or log on to make your reservation. Takanami, downtown Iowa City.
Enjoy fine casual dining in a stunning country club setting at Divots Bar and Grill in Coralville's Brown Deer Golf Club. Our culinary chefs serve an extraordinary menu including perfectly prepared steaks, fresh salmon and dinner entrees, a host of grilled sandwiches, burgers, and delicious heart-healthy wraps, irresistible salads, and appetizing works of culinary art. Enjoy the outstanding yet affordable dining experience at Divots Bar and Grill in Coralville's Brown Deer Golf Club.
You're watching Comcast Sportsnet, now part of the NBC Sports Group.
Toyota call to the pen time as Jeff Samardzija will face pinch hitter Marcus Thames.
One really ugly number on the line of Jeff Samardzija, that base on balls column. 14 walks in 11 innings of work. Hasn't been hit very hard this year, but has put a lot of base runners on base via the free pass.
Thames with his 7th career pinch hit home run yesterday and his 2nd of the year, which leads the majors. He'll bat with a runner on, a run in, and an 8-5 Dodger lead. And he pops it up on the infield. Jeff Baker, battling that wind and sun, makes a catch. Arcade Fire with the stretch.